Could someone chant the prayers? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Haribol.
Haribol. Could someone chant prayers?
Yeah, Prabhu, I can chant.
Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanativrandasya Jnananjalachalakaya Chakshurunlimitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapadikamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Gurunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवेष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये शृण्वता स्वतः स्वः कथः कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृद्यन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विद्युनोति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेषु भक्तेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी श्री भागवतम जय हो. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves very victorious when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes of verses on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of the service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Shri Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai ho. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please remember always must Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Who would like to start reading? We are in the Maharaj Raugan meets Jada Bharat chapter. Text number 23.
Can I share?
Yes, Prabhu.
सस्ताभिगोप्त नृपति प्रजानं यः किङ्करो वै न पिनस्ति पिस्तं स्वधर्मम् आराधनम् अच्युतस्य यद् यद् एमानु विजयन् विजाहते अघौघम् अघौघम् synonyms: Sasta, Sasta, the governor; Abhigupta, a well-wisher of the citizens; as a father, he is the well-wisher of his children. Nripati, the king; Prajanma, Prajanma of the citizens; Yaha, one who; Kinkara, order carrier; Vahi, indeed; Na, not; Pinasati, Pinasti, Pistam, renders with what is already ground; Swadharmam, one's own occupational duty; Aradhanam, worshipping; Achyutasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead; Yat, which; Hemana, performing; Vijahati, they are released from; Agahogham, all kinds of sinful activities and faulty action. Translation by Srila Bhakti. Srila Prabhupada. My dear sir, you have said that the relationship between the king and subject, or relationship between the king and the subject, or between the master and the servant, are not eternal, but although such relationships are temporary. When a person takes the position of a king, his duty is to rule the citizens and punish those who are disobedient to the laws. By punishing them, he teaches the citizen to obey the laws of the state. Again, you have said that punishing a person who is deaf and dumb is like chewing the chewed or grinding the pulp. That is to say, there is no benefit in it. However, if one is engaged in his own occupational duty as ordered by the Supreme Lord, his sinful activities are certainly diminished. Therefore, if one is engaged in his occupational duty by force, he benefits because he can vanquish all his sinful activities in that way. Purport. This argument offered by Maharaj Raghugana is certainly very effective. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.4, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Tasmat kinnape upayena mana Krishne nivishate. Somehow or other, one should engage in Krishna consciousness. Actually, every living being is an eternal servant of Krishna, but due to forgetfulness, a living entity engages himself as an eternal servant of Maya. As long as one is engaged in Maya service, he cannot be happy. Our Krishna consciousness movement aims to sorry bro, aims little bit bro, little bit, little bit bro. Ah. As long as okay. Aims at engaging people in Krishna, sorry, aims at engaging people in Lord Krishna's service that will help them become freed from all material contamination and sinful activity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.10. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. By becoming detached from material activities, we will be freed from fear and anger. By austerity, one becomes purified and eligible to return home, back to Godhead. The duty of king is to rule his citizens in such a way that they can become Krishna consciousness. This would be very beneficial for everyone. Unfortunately, the king or present president engages people in self gratification instead of the Lord's service, and such activities are certainly not beneficial for anyone. King Raghugana tried to engaged Jadabharat in carrying the palanquin, which is a form of sense gratification for the king. However, if one is engaged in palanquin career is in the Lord's service, that is certainly beneficial. In this godless civilization, if a president engages people somehow or other in devotional service or the awakening of the Krishna consciousness, he renders the very best service to the citizens. Text 24. तन्मे भवन नार देवाभिमान मध्येन तुच्छीकृता सतामस्य पृष्ठ कृष्ट मैत्री दृश्यम अर्थबंधो यथातारे सद अव्य अवध्यायनम अहम अम्मः that therefore me unto me Bhavan, your good self Naradeva Abhimana Madhyena, by madness due to having the body of a king and those being proud of it. Chikrita, who has insulted Sat Tamasya, who are who you who are best among human beings. Krishata, kindly show Maitri Drasham, your causeless mercy upon me like a friend. Artha Bandhu, a friend of all distressed persons. Yata so, Tare, I can get relief from Sat Avadhyayanam. Neglecting a great personality like you, Amha, the sin. Translation: whatever you have spoken appears to me to be contradictory. O best friend of the distressed, I have committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. For this I have certainly become an offender. Therefore, I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from sinful activities brought about by insulting you. Purport: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that by offending a Vaishnava, one finishes all his spiritual activities. Offending a Vaishnava is considered the mad elephant offense. A mad elephant offense can destroy an entire garden which has been developed with great labor. One may attain the topmost platform of devotional service, but somehow or other, if he offends a Vaishnava, the whole structure collapses. Unfortunately, unconsciously, King Rahugana offended Jadabharat, but due to his good sense, he asked to be excused. This is the process by which one can be relieved from a Vaishnava Aparadha. King is always very simple and by nature merciful. When one commits an offense at the feet of a Vaishnava, one must immediately apologize to such a personality so that his spiritual advancement may not be hampered. Text 25. न विक्रिया विश्वाश्रुत सुश्रुत सकस्य सम समेन वितभिमत्तवापि महद् विमनत् स्वकृत धि मद्रन् नन् ननक्षस्ते अधुरद् अपि सुलापनि न not vikriya material transformation vishwa sruhat of the supreme personality of godhead who is friend to everyone sakhasya of you, the friend Samena, because of your mental equilibrium with Abhimate, who has completely forsaken the bodily concept of life. Tattava, your api indeed mahat vimanat of insulting a great devotee, swakrit, swakritat from my own activity. Certainly, a person like me, Nankshyati, will be destroyed Adurat very soon. Api, certainly, Sula, Pani, even though as powerful as Lord Shiva, Sula, okay. Translation. O my dear Lord, you are the friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the friend of all living entities. You are therefore equal to everyone, and you are free from the bodily conception. Although I have committed an offense by insulting you, I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. You are where is it? You are fixed in your determination. But I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be very strong as Lord Shiva, I shall be vanquished without delay due to my offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Okay. Purport. Maharaj Raghugana was very intelligent and consciousness of the inauspicious effects arising from insulting a Vaishnava. He was therefore very anxious to be excused by Jadavarat. Following in the footsteps of Maharaj Raghugana, everyone should be very cautious not to commit an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 13 says, Sulapani Sama Yadhi Bhakta Ninda Kare Bhagavata Pramana Tattapi Sigra Mare येन वैष्णवेर्निन्दे सर्वज्ञः हि सि से जनेर अधः पता सर्वशास्त्रे कहाई. Even if one is as strong as Lord Shiva, who carries a trident in his hand, trident in hand, one will nonetheless fall down from his spiritual position if he tries to insult a Vaishnava. That is the verdict of all Vedic scriptures. He also says this in Chaitanya Bhagavata Madhya 22. Vaishnavera Ninda Karibeka Yara Gana Tara Raksa Samratya Nahika Kona Jana Sulapani Samayadi Vaishnavera Ninde Tatapinha नासायाय कहे शास्त्र वृंदे यह न मैया ये सुजाना निंद करे जन्मे जन्मे से पपिष्ठ दैव दोषे मरे. So, one who blasphemes a Vaishnava cannot be protected by anyone. Even if a person is as strong as Lord Shiva, if he blasphemes Vaishnava, he is sure to be destroyed. This is verdict of all Shastras. If one does not care for the verdict of the Shastras and dares blaspheme Vaishnava, he suffers life after life because of this. Those ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. One minute, bro. I suffer merit of Shastras and dates Brashman Devash. Okay. But those ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of 5th Canto, 10th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Discussion Between Jadabharat and Maharaj Ravana. Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You want to read more? Or if so, Hare Krishna, Saurabh, Prabhupada, Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Or if
Hare Krishna,
anybody else
Bondhu
wants to
Pram,
read,
Jai
we
Shri
can finish.
Prabhupada.
We can read like 20 minutes more or 15.
Okay, Guru, can I read? Okay,
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
thank you. Jadabharata instructs King Rahuguna. In this chapter, the Brahmana Jadabharat instructs Maharaj Rahuguna in detail. He tells the king, you are not very experienced, yet you pose yourself as a learned person because you are very proud of your knowledge. Actually, a person who is on the transcendental platform does not care for social behavior that sacrifice spiritual advancement. Social behavior comes within the jurisdiction of karma kanda. Material benefit, no one can spiritually advance by such activities. The conditioned soul is always overpowered by the modes of material nature, and consequently, he is simply concerned with material benefits and auspicious and inauspicious material things. In other words, the mind, which is the leader of the senses, is absorbed in material activities, life after life. Thus, he continuously gets different types of bodies and suffers miserable material conditions. On the basis of mental concoction, the social behavior has been formulated. If one's mind is absorbed in these activities, he suddenly remains conditioned within this material world. According to different opinions, there are 11 or 12 mental activities which can be transformed into hundreds or and thousands. A person who is not Krishna conscious is subject to all these mental concoction and is thus governed by the material energy. The living entity which free from mental concoctions attains the platform of pure spirit soul, devoid of material contamination. There are two types of living entity, Jivatma and Paramatma. The individual soul and the supreme soul. That supreme soul in its ultimate realization is Lord Vasudev Krishna. He enters into everyone's heart and controls the living entity in his different activities. He is therefore the supreme shelter of all living entities. One can understand the supreme soul and one's position in relationship with him when one is completely freed from the unwanted association of ordinary man. In this way, one can become fit to cross the ocean of nescience. The cause of conditional life is attachment to the external energy. One has to conquer these mental concoctions. Unless one does so, he will never be freed from material anxiety. Although mental concoctions have no value, their influence is still very formidable. No one should neglect to control the mind. If one does, the mind becomes so powerful that one immediately forgets his real position, forgetting that he is an eternal servant of Krishna and that service to Krishna is on his only business. One is doomed by material nature to serve the object of the senses. One should kill mental concoction by the sort of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhaya Bhakti Lata Vich. Yes, bro. Brahmana Uvacha Akovidha Kovidha Bhada Badan Bhadasye Atho Nati Bhidam Paristaha Na Suryayo Hi Vyaharam Inam Tattvamarasena Sahama Naneti. Brahmana Uvacha, the Brahmana said, Akovidaha, without having experience. Kovidaha, Badha Badan, words used by experienced person. Badha, see, you are speaking. Atho, therefore, na, not. Ati Vidham, of those who are very experienced. Baristaha, the most important, not Suryaha, such intelligent person. Hi, indeed, Vyabha, Haram, mundane and social behavior. Enam this tattaha of the truth. Avamarisna, fine judgment by intelligence. Saha with Amananti discuss. Translation. The Brahmana Jadabharata said, my dear king, although you have spoken, are not uh, scroll up a little bit. Although you are not at all experienced, you are trying to speak like a very experienced man. Consequently, you cannot be considered an experienced person. An experienced person does not speak the way you are speaking about the relationship between a master and a servant, or about material pains and pleasure. These are simply external activities. Any advanced experience means considering the absolute truth does not talk in this way. Yes. Purport. Krishna similarly chastised Arjuna. Asocyan anabhasoscha tam pragya vadamscha bhasase. While speaking learned words, you are lamenting for what is not worthy of grief. Similarly, among people in general, 99.9% try to talk like experienced advisors, but they are actually devoid of spiritual knowledge and are therefore like inexperienced children speaking nonsensically. Consequently, their words cannot be given any importance. One has to learn from Krishna or his devotees. If one speaks on the basis of this experience, that is on the basis of spiritual knowledge, one's words are valuable. At the present moment, the entire world is full of foolish people. Bhagavad Gita describes these people as buddhas. They are trying to rule human society, but because they are devoid of spiritual knowledge, the entire world is in a chaotic condition. To be released from these miserable conditions, one has to become Krishna conscious and take lessons from an exalted personality like Jado Bharat, Lord Krishna and Kapil Dev. That is the only way to solve the problems of material life. Yes, bro. तथैव राजन् उरु दरः विताना विदोरु विजृम्भितेषु नाभेदबाधेषु हि तत्त्ववदः प्रायेण शुद्धोऽनुचक्षस्ति साधुः तथा. Therefore, Eva, indeed, Rajan, O king, Uru Karaha Medha, rituals related to material household or life. Vitana Vidya, in knowledge that expands, Uru very greatly. Bijram Vitesu, among those interested, not. Veda Vadesu, who speak the version of the Vedas. He, yeah, Bruce, hold on. Indeed, Tattvadaha, the spiritual sides, Prayena, almost always, Suddhaha, free from all contaminated activities. No, indeed, Raksasti, appear, Sadhuhu, a person who is advanced in devotional service. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear king talks of the relationship between the master and the servant, the king and the subject, and so forth. The simply talks about material activities. People interested in material activities, which are expounded in the Vedas, are intent on performing material sacrifices and placing faith in their material activities. For such people, spiritual advancement is definitely not manifest. Purport. In this verse, two words are significant: Veda Vada and Tattva Vada. According to Bhagavad Gita, those who are simply attached to the Veda and who do not understand the purpose of the Vedas or the Vedanta Sutra are called Veda Vada Rataha. Jam imam puspitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha Veda Vada Rataha Partha Nannat Astiti Vadinaha Isa Mata Manaha Sargo Para Janma Karma Phalapradam Kriya Vishesha Bahulam Bhoga Sarya Gatim Prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the fiery words of the Vedas, which recommended various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth, being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life. They say there is nothing more than this. Bhagavad Gita 2.42 to 43. Yes, bro. The Vedavada followers of the Vedas are generally inclined to Karma Kanda, the performance of sacrifice according to the Vedic injunction. They are thereby promoted to the higher planetary system. They generally practice the Chaturmasya system. Aksasayam abhavi Chaturmasya jajinaha sukritam bhavati. One who performs the Chaturmasya yoga becomes pious. By becoming pious, one may be promoted to the higher planetary system. Urdhvam gacchati sattvastaha. Some of the followers of the Vedas are attached to Karma Kanda, the fruitive activities of the Vedas, in order to be promoted to a higher standard of life. Others argue that this is not the purpose of the Vedas. Tot jatha hi bhiya karma jitaha lokaha siyate evam uttara punna jita lokasyate. In this world, someone may become very highly elevated by taking birth in an aristocratic family, by being well educated, beautiful, or very rich. These are the gifts for pious activities enacted in the past life. However, these will be finished when the stock of pious activity is finished. If we become attached to pious activities, we may get these various worldly facilities in the next life and may take birth in the heavenly planets. But all this will eventually be finished. Sine punne morto lokam visanti. Bhagavad Gita 9.21. When the stock of pious activity is finished, one again has to come in this to this morto loka. According to the Vedic injunction, the performance of pious activity is not really the object of the Vedas. The object of the Vedas is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedascha sarvai ahameva vidya. The objective of the Vedas is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Scroll up a little bit. Those who are Vedavadis are not actually advanced in knowledge. And those who are followers of Jnana from Brahman understanding are also not perfect. However, when one comes to the platform of Upasana and accepts the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he becomes perfect. Aradhananam Sarvesam Vishnur Aradhanam Dhananam Param. In the Vedas, the worship of different demigods and the performance of sacrifice are certainly mentioned, but such worship is inferior because the worshippers do not know that the ultimate goal is Vishnu. Nate vidu sartam gati hi Vishnu. When one comes to the platform of Vishnu Aradhana or Bhakti Yoga, one has attained the perfection of life. Otherwise, as indicated in Bhagavad Gita, one is not a Tattvadi but Vedavadi, a blind follower of the Vedic injunction. A Vedavadi cannot be purified from material contamination unless he become a Tattvadi. That is, one knows who knows Tattva, the absolute truth. Tattva is also experienced in three features. Yeah, yes, Prabhu. In three features. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti sabdate. Even after coming to the platform of understanding Tattva, one must worship Bhagavan, Vishnu and his expansion. Or one is not yet perfect. Bahunam Janmonam Ante Gyanovam Mam Prapoddate. After many verse, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto Krishna. The conclusion is that unintelligent man with a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand Bhagavan, Brahman or Paramatma. But after studying the Vedas and attaining the understanding of the self to the Supreme Personality Godhead, one is supposed to be on the platform of perfect knowledge. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Levang Prabhu want to read? You can read.
Oh,
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Hare
Levang,
Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my obeisances for Christ Krishna, Prabhupada.
okay, we can
Thank
read
you,
few
Swami
more.
Prabhu.
Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
Prabhu.
We can read few more verses then.
Okay, yes, yes, Prabhu. What time will you end, Prabhu?
Like 15 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Let me just. And I need 15 minutes to complete 1 hour. I don't know what's happening
Yes,
today here.
oh, there's a joining. Can someone scroll? Is there someone else? Is there someone on computer?
Sridhar Krishna Prabhu, or maybe Gaurang.
Gaurang Prabhu. Okay, Gaurang Prabhu can scroll. Haribol.
Prabhu, you always look scared every day. I love the way you do devotional service. Sami Prabhu, I think he's trying to say something to you. Sami Prabhu. Gaurang Prabhu is on PC, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. You need to click. Oh, now it works.
Okay, let me start. Okay. Natasya tadva grahanaya sakshad vairyasir api vachaha samsan. Is it samasan or samasan vairyasir api vachaha samasan. Swapne niruktaya grahamedi saukayam nayasya henu mitam swayam syat. Understood, Prabhu, what to do. Okay. Synonyms: not tasya of him, a student studying the Vedas. Tadva grahanaya. Grahanaya. For accepting the real purpose of Vedic knowledge. Sakshad. Read the Veda. Directly vairasir. Very exalted. Api, although vachaha, words of the Vedas. Samasan. Sufficiently became. Swapne, in a dream. Niruktya. By example, Griha Medi, Saukyam, happiness within this mature world. Oh, I thought that Griha Medi was like the people who are married for sense gratification. Happiness within this mature world, not yasya of him who, heya anumitam, concluded to be inferior. Swayam automatically syat become. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial, and similarly, one eventually realizes that material happiness in this life or the next, on this planet or a higher planet, is insignificant. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. Prabhu, can you go up? I just want to repeat that translation. I did not hear anything from the first round. A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial. And similarly, one eventually realizes that material happiness in this life or the next on this planet or higher planet is insignificant. Oh. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of their truth. I can go down, Prabhu. Thank you. Hana Prabhu, Semi Prabhu, or anyone but Tejat Prabhu, Sridhar Prabhu. Is Bharat, if I remember correctly, King Bharat, the original, is reincarnated as Jada Bharat, ne? Or am I speculating here? I think I saw it somewhere. Prabhus, hello. Are you in meditation mode, Prabhu? Silent meditation. Yeah, let me rather continue. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.45, Krishna advised Arjuna to become transcendental to the material activities impelled by the three material modes of nature, Traigunya, Vaishya, Veda, Nistraigunyo, Pavarjuna. The purpose of Vedic study is to transcend the activities of the three modes of material nature. Of course, in the material world, the mode of goodness is accepted as the best, and one can be promoted to the higher planetary systems by being on the Sattva Guna platform. However, that is not perfection. One must come to the conclusion that even the Sattva Guna platform is also not good. One may dream that he has become a king with a good family, wife and children, but immediately at the end of that dream, he comes to the conclusion that it is false. Similarly, all kinds of material happiness are undesirable for a person who wants spiritual salvation. If a person does not come to the conclusion that he has nothing to do with any kind of material happiness, he cannot come to the platform of understanding the absolute truth or tattva jnana. Karmis, jnanis, and yogis are after some material elevation. The karmis work hard day and night for some bodily comfort, and the jnanis simply speculate about how to get out of their entanglement of karma and merge into the Brahman effulgence. The yogis are very much addicted to the acquisition of material perfection and magical powers. All of them are trying to be materially perfect. But a devotee very easily comes to the platform of nirguna in devotional service, and consequently for the devotees, the results of karma, jnana, and yoga becomes very insignificant. Therefore, only the devotees is on the platform of tattva jnana, not the others. Of course, the Gyani's position is better than that of the Karmi, but that position is also insufficient. The Gyani must always, the Gyani must actually become liberated, and after liberation, he may be situated in devotional service. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Text 4. Yavan Manorajasa Purushasya Sadvena Vatamasa Vanurudaham Chetobira Kutbi Attanoti Niranuksham Kushalam Chetaram Dva. Synonyms: Yavat, as long as; Manaha, the mind; Rajasa, by the mode of passion; Purushasya of the living entity; Sadvena, by the mode of goodness; Va, or Tamasa, by the mode of darkness; Va, or Anirudam, controlled; Cheto, be, by the knowledge acquiring senses. Senses, Akuti, be, by the senses of action; Atanoti, expands; Nirankuksham, independent; Like an elephant not controlled by a trident. Kushalam, auspiciousness. Cha, also. Itaram, other than auspiciousness. Sinful activities. Va, or. Translation. Can go down, Prabhu. Translation: as long as the mind of the living entity is contaminated by the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, his mind is exactly like an independent, uncontrolled elephant. It simply expands its jurisdiction of pious and impious activities by using the senses. The result is that the living entity remains in the material world to enjoy and suffer pleasures and pains due to material activities. Purport Chaitanya Charitamrita said that material pious and impious activities are both opposed to the principles of devotional service. Devotional service means mukti, freedom from material engagement. But pious and impious activities result in entanglement within this material world. If the mind is captivated by the pious and impious activities mentioned in the Vedas, one remains eternally in darkness. One cannot attain the absolute platform. To change the consciousness from ignorance to passion or from passion to goodness does not really solve the problem. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14 to 26, Sa Gunan Samatitya Itan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, one must come to the transcendental platform, otherwise life's mission is never fulfilled. Vasanatma Vishayo Parakto Guna Pravaho Vikritaha Shatma Bibiharat Pretan Nama Bi Rupa Bedam Antare Bahistwam Chah Papura Ishtanoti Tanoti. Synonym Sa, that Vasana, endured with many desires, Atma, the mind, Vishaya, Uparaktaha, attached to material happiness, sense gratification, Guna, Pravaha, driven by the force of either Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, or Tama Guna, Vikritaha, transformed by lust, and so on. Shodasha Atma, the chief of the 16 material elements, the 5 gross elements, the 10 sense and the mind, Rat, wandering, Pratak, Namabi, with separate names, Surupa Dam, assuming different forms, Antaha, Bahistwam, the quality of being first class or last class, Cha and Purai, with different bodily forms, Tanoti, manifest. Translation: because the mind is absorbed in desires for pious and impious activities, it is naturally subjected to the transformations of lust and anger. In this way, it becomes attracted to material sense enjoyment. In other words, the mind is conducted by the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. There are 11 senses and 5 material elements, and out of these 16 items, the mind is the chief. Therefore, the mind brings about birth in different types of bodies. Among demigods, human beings, animals, and birds, when the mind is situated in a higher or lower position, it accepts a higher or lower material body. Transmigration among the 8.4 million species is due to the mind being polluted by certain material qualities. Due to the mind, the soul is subjected to pious and impious activities. The continuation of material existence is like the waves of material nature. In this regard, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Mayara Vashe Yakcha Bishe Bise Kachaha Ba Habu Dabu Bai. My dear brother, the spirit soul is completely under the control of Maya and you are being carried away by its waves. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite Kriya Manani Gunahi Karmani Saravasyaha Ahankara Vimudatma Kar Taham Iti Manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, thinks himself the doer of activities which are in actuality carried out by nature. Bhagavad Gita 3.27, material existence means being peacefully controlled by material nature. The mind is the center for accepting the dictations of material nature. In this way, the living entity is carried away in different types of bodies continuously, millennium after millennium. Krishna Buli Se Jiva Anadi Bahirimukha Atai Va Maya Tare Diya Samsara Dukkha. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 20.117. Due to the living entity's forgetfulness of Krishna, one is bound by the laws of material nature. Text 6. Dukkaham Sukham Vyatirikatam Ta Vyatirikatam Chativaram Kalopapanam Palam Avayanakti Alingya Maya Rachitantaratma Swadehinam Samsriti Chakra Kutaha. Synonyms: Dukkaham, unhappiness due to impious activities. Sukham, happiness due to pious activities. Tiriktam, illusion. Cha, also. Tivaram, very severe. Kala upapanam, obtained in the course of time. Phalam, the resultant action. Avyanati, creates. Alingya, embracing. Mayara chitta, created by material nature. Antaha atma, the mind. Swadehinam, the living being himself. Samsriti, of the actions and reactions of material existence. Chakra kutaha, which deceives the living entity into the whereabouts, into the wheel. Translation: the materialistic minds covering the living entity's soul carries it to different species of life. This is called continued material existence. Due to the mind, the living entity suffers or enjoys material distress and happiness. Being thus illusion, the mind further creates pious and impious activities and their karma, and thus the soul becomes conditioned. Purport: mental activities under the influence of material nature causes happiness and distress. Within the material world, being covered by illusion, the living entity eternally continues conditioned life under different designations. Such living entities are known as Nitya Bada, eternally conditioned. On the whole, the mind is the cause of conditioned life. Therefore, the entire yogic process is meant to control the mind and the senses. Prabhu. The mind and the senses. If the mind is controlled, the senses are automatically controlled, and therefore the soul is saved from the reactions of pious and impious activities. If the mind is engaged at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Sa Eva I Manaha Krishna Paradavindayo, the senses are automatically engaged in the Lord's service. When the mind and senses are engaged in devotional service, the living entity naturally becomes Krishna consciousness. As soon as one thinks himself, as soon as one always thinks of Krishna, he becomes a perfect yogi, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatinar taratmanam atmana. This antaratma, the mind is conditioned by material nature, as stated here. Maya rachitantaratma swadehinam samsriti chakrakutaha. The mind, being most powerful, covers the living entity and puts him in the waves of material existence. Yeah, another devotee can continue, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I have to leave though. Thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna. Bye.
Haribol. Okay, let's go to 6 Astakam prayers. Who would like to start?
Okay, let's go. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam shairakairiva chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Namnamakari bahudani sarva shaktis tatarpitani amita smaranena kalaha etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdevamidrishami ajanyanuragaha trinarapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam vajagadishakamaye mama janmani janmani jvare bhavatad bhakti rahaitu twai ainandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja sitaduri sadrisham vichintaya nayanam garadashudaraya vadanam gadgadarudaya gira Pulakaya nishitam vapukara tavanamagrahane bhavishyati Yugaitam nimeshena shakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me ashishya padaratam pinashtumam madashanan marmahatam karutova yata tata va vidatalam pato matprananadastu saivana paraha. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna or Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to approach you easily by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O son of Mahajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me rudely in his embrace, or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Sri Shikshashtakam ki Jai.
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Who would like to continue with 10 offenses? Bahujanma Karayadi Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God that is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third offense, To disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in Persian to the Vedic version. Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Ninth offense, to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Tenth offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Thank you, Prabhu. Dhanavad pranam to all of you. Jai Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shubham Prabhu Tanda Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much
Krishna
for
Prabhu,
association.
Sami Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I just have one small thing. Are you like the admin of means the Japa motivation group?
Yes, Prabhu, maybe. I think so. At this
Can
chorus
you
of the perhaps.
like make the settings from admin from like invite to join group like that? Because since I don't have Telegram, I use my like father's ID to access Telegram, which is like means I just use the joining link on like Google. I put it and then I can just view the group. So like I can check if reading session is there or not, because last week I was joining every day and I don't know what something happened. So I could not join only if I think there wasn't. So can you do something like that, Prabhu?
Like how, like what I need to do?
Means make like means to members to join the group. They can, if you give them the invite link, then you have to like then the person needs to apply to join the group, like admin approval for joining. There
Hmm.
must be some setting, so then I can
Yeah,
access.
there's a
But if
link.
I can't,
There's a
yeah,
link that says that it doesn't require someone to accept.
yeah. Can you share
Have
me
you
one
tried the
link?
link?
Yeah, because I use the ISM Vaishnav Sangha group, so I'm kind of half half member of Telegram group. I cannot send messages, but I can access all of them. Means anyone can with the link. So I've memorized the link.
Yes, Prabhu. So is the link enough or do I have to do something?
No, Japa motivation group, the Telegram one.
Oh, Telegram one. I thought the
Yeah,
WhatsApp one.
WhatsApp group is not possible only.
Oh.
WhatsApp I'm attending from Telegram, means from desktop. Sorry. So that I cannot start off in morning. So
So you need the link?
yeah, I'll need the link also. I'll try to memorize it.
Yes, Prabhu. I'll send it.
Okay. Isn't there like a means normal type of, because I don't know, I don't want to ask much and waste your time. I'll just copy it quickly.
Yes, Prabhu. I think that link is enough for you can join through that always.
I'll just check. Prabhu, it is saying directly to join. I means apply to join that. Can you make that setting change for
Hmm.
that group? You can change the setting to apply to join, because I cannot join through my father's WhatsApp. He'll he'll be very angry. Means I can just access it without joining. That is a small thing that Lord has given.
I'm trying to find where it is.
Yeah. Also, Shubham Prabhu, I'm trying my best to send Prashadam. I just need to change the label of the packet because earlier you had given me other label, right? Jaunpur one. I need to. Okay, I'll check with this one.
Yes, Prabhu, the link should work like without you having to apply. It should be direct.
No, Prabhu, it's saying some same thing now. Also,
So it asks you to like apply.
should I like share the screen? I can share it. Like I can show what happens in both ways.
Yes, Prabhu.
Or should I?
But at least Rahul Prabhu tried it now and he joined directly.
Okay, I'll try to just enter. So this is what happens usually.
No, use the link that I sent to you. Oh, do you need it in
This
Vaishnav
is
Sangha?
no. This is what usually happens when I do Vaishnav Sangha one.
Yes, bro, but try the link that I sent in the Telegram group.
Here's what happens. So I need to access the group without joining.
Yeah. So you want it to be open?
Yeah, I don't know what is the setting. Some joining setting.
So like that you can see it without joining.
Prabhu, don't contact me on WhatsApp. My parents check it like very regularly. It's like kind of one way messaging for me right now. I just call the devotees at my convenient time and they answer very.
Yes, Prabhu. I
It's
think
like
only
that.
Gaura Shakti Prabhu can change the settings of the Telegram group.
Yeah, sure. I actually I associated over like 40 minutes today with him. I forgot to tell him. I'll tell tomorrow. I just thought you are also possible to do that. I thought 5 minutes. Sorry for taking your time on this.
No problem.
Yes. Yeah, bro. Thank you for your associations.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Putidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namaha. Thank you so much.
Namaha.